The main problem that I see that most traders struggle with is their psychology. But everybody says, oh, psychology is the biggest problem, but they don't tell you actually what it is. What truly is the problem of psychology? Psychology is a broad term. So in this video, I'm going to uncover to you the 7 psychology secrets that profitable traders must master. These are the 7 things that actually make up what the psychology problem is that every trader experiences. When we have money on the line, when we just get close to passing a funded account or getting close to profit, and then we give it all back to the market. What's actually happening here? This could change your trading absolutely forever, but you have to go into it with an open mind. You have to go into it wanting to actually take in this information. If you don't, you're gonna click off this video, go somewhere else, and probably repeat the same cycle like you have for the last 12 months or however long. Probably you're stuck if you're watching this video, so take this in, let me help you, and let's get right into it. The first thing that we must understand is outcome attachment. When we trade, we have to understand, are we attached to the outcome? We have to be observant. There's some times where we come into the market and we're gonna say, oh, I know exactly what I wanna see happen right now. I know exactly what I wanna see. Okay, buy side just got taken. Okay, maybe I wanna see a short play out here. Okay, I'm gonna look for this. But how much of our idea in our head when we're trading is our idea of what we want to see versus the market actually showing us what it's truly doing? And one thing that you have to understand is there's a difference between a profitable trader and an unprofitable trader when it comes to this concept. The profitable trader does not care whatsoever to be right or to understand what the market was doing. The goal of a profitable trader is to simply look, visualize, and react to what the market is showing them. So when I come into the market, I don't care if I'm right. I could flip a coin heads or tails and go long, short, based off of heads or tails, and I could possibly be profitable and make money, but that doesn't matter. What matters is my ability to recognize what is the market showing me and have no attached idea or outcome to it. And I'm not seeking validation from this as well. We have to focus on building profitable habits. When we look into the market and we're focused on the outcome attachment of, is this trade gonna play out? And then when that trade doesn't play out, our entire ego is broken. We feel like, oh my God, all of this work is for nothing. And then we just go in this endless fucking doom loop cycle of getting into a trade, getting excited for the outcome. Oh my God, I'm gonna make so much money. This is such a good setup. And then it goes against us. And then when our expectations are broken, we immediately then jump in another trade, and then we end up just blowing up our accounts. So how can we overcome this? Number one, we have to understand the market rewards process. It rewards patience. Trading is not like normal work. And this is what I always try to convey to somebody. The reason why you feel like you're on a treadmill right now and you're not getting anywhere is because you're treating trading like any other work in your life. If you go to the gym and your goal is to get a 6-pack, it is a brute force type of work. You show up every day, you do the reps, and you get the 6-pack. Trading, 95% of the work for trading is doing literally nothing. So you have to understand that you are rewarded not for your time, but for your decision making. And if you focus on your decision making and you realize that less is more, you don't have to struggle through the pain or whatever it is like all of these online entrepreneurs and traders try to tell you. In fact, I fully believe, and I've seen this with myself and all my students, you will be the most successful when you feel like you are doing the least amount of work, because that least amount of work is you waking up, not giving a about what the market's going to do, sitting there, not having any preconceived ideas or attachment to the outcome or attachment to an idea, and you simply react and you take the trade and it's over and you say, I just made $5,000 and I didn't feel like I even did anything. That's a good thing. But then what happens is you self-sabotage yourself after that because you feel like, oh wait, I feel like I should be putting in more work right now. And you're not putting in that work because your idea of work is subjective to everything else in your life. When it comes to building a business, working out, whatever it is, trading is different. And so we have to understand that when we are attached to the outcome and also thinking of the idea of work, it's completely different. So this is the number one principle we have to understand. The second thing, identity separation. You are not your P&L. You are not your money. You are not your validation of your wallet. This is something I struggled with. I would wake up and if I took a loss in the morning, my entire day was ruined because I validated myself from my performance. It was, did I make money? Am I successful? Then I'm a fucking nobody if I'm not. And it is extremely unhealthy and we have to become completely disconnected and disassociated to the performance. It doesn't make us who we are. Subconsciously are thinking that it is making us who we are. And keep in mind, it's not like we're consciously making this decision where it's like, this represents me, but it's happening subconsciously, right? Our performance and our P&L from our trading impacts our confidence. It impacts our conviction and our ability to be ourselves and make good decisions. It tears us down. So we have to build our identity not around profit, but around process. When we build our identity around the person who shows up for ourselves, who does the things in which we say we're going to do, we care more about following our rules and respecting ourselves enough to follow our rules than we are making money. I don't give a if I make $20,000 and I broke every single one of my rules, because I know the market is going to inevitably take that back. It's not actually my money. I didn't do it through the right process. So if our identity is focused on profit and did I make money, did I not make money, then you're setting yourself up for failure long-term and short-term, because trading is about being a loser. It is about being a good loser and making sure your wins outweigh your losses. But the only way for you to do that is if you are disconnected from it. You are not attached to it. You are not, your identity is nowhere near tied to your P&L or your performance. So build your identity around process. Did I come into the day? Did I follow my rules? Did I focus on everything I needed to focus on? Did I take my A+ setup? Win or lose, that is my validation. That is me saying I showed up, I did what I needed to do. I respected myself enough. And that is when we trade like the version of ourselves who is profitable versus trading like ourselves who is not profitable. And that's the difference, is the version who ourselves is profitable, respects themselves enough to do the things in which they say they're going to do. I'm not gonna break my rules. I'm only gonna take one setup today. Whatever, I'm gonna step away after 11 o'clock. Whatever that is for you, you have to focus on building your identity on that, not on profit. Number 3, emotional detachment. One thing that we have to understand is that when we live our entire lives in a society that is built around the idea of money and built around that success only relies on money, guys, I've made so much money. Money does not make anything change. Money fixes money problems. That is it. So when it comes to trading, when money is involved, our survival system activates. We go into fucking fight or flight. And this is like, again, we have to truly think about this for a second. Why do you think this is? It comes from childhood. It comes from trauma. If you grew up in a household where it's a single mother and your family's, struggling to put food on the table, whenever you enter a trade, you have that experience and background and value of $1 in the back of your mind where you start just going into absolute fight or flight mode. And that is where you make emotional decisions. You take trades off too early. You put on more size than you should have. And all of this is when we will never end up seeing success, because we're operating from our trauma and our experiences rather than from truth and from observation. So we have to understand, trade size so small, losses don't hurt. This is one thing I recommend for you to do. If you struggle with emotional detachment from your trading and you enter into trades and you're constant having, anxiety and stress, trade small size or paper trade until trading becomes normal. It becomes nothing. It becomes devalued. Trading should be like drinking a glass of water. It means literally nothing. Start devaluing what trading is. Think about it. Trading is literally me sitting at my desk looking at a laptop and I look at lines on a chart all day. That's boring. That should be boring in our mind. It shouldn't be anything glamorous. But we've created this glamorized idea of what trading is on social media. Oh, I'm a trader. Look at my cars. Look at my nice apartment. Blah, 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 blah. Right? It just completely fries our brain. And if our brain is fried and we're valuing something that doesn't need to have value, we're giving value to just the idea of us trading. Just the idea of us trading we're giving value to. And when we give value to just the idea of us doing it, of course we're gonna make emotional decisions. Of course we're gonna have anxiety. Of course we're gonna have stress, because it's something that's big. It's like me playing in the Super Bowl. If I know I'm going into the Super Bowl and I'm about to play that game, I'm gonna be way more stressed than it's if I'm at practice just throwing balls around. There's a difference though about performance. We can still perform and have intention, but we have to focus on being emotionally detached from the outcome and from the environment in which we're putting ourselves in. So detachment doesn't equal not caring. It's not that we're not caring about ourselves. It's that we're not caring about the outcome or what we need to feel or be perceived as. It's us simply being ourselves, respecting ourselves and saying, I don't care about the outcome. I don't care about how much money I make. I care about, did I do, again, going back to number 2, did I do the things in which I should be doing? That is the most important thing. Number 4, there's a dopamine trap with trading. We want to make money. We want to see that number. And it doesn't matter. A lot of times it gets to a point where it doesn't matter if the trade is even there or not. We just want to see that P&L on. We just want to be in that moment, because it's like we're at a casino. If you treat it like a casino, it's going to treat you like somebody who's going to it's going to take your money. It's going to see you as a victim, and it's going to say, oh, give me your cash, buddy, because you do not know what the hell you're doing, and I'm going to take all your cash. So again, going back to the other concepts, we have to rewire our reward system. Our reward system for ourselves is not taking a trade. And it's the same thing with your life and social media. There's many of you that are watching this video that probably watched 5 videos before this or scrolled on TikTok for an hour and a half doing literally nothing, feeding your brain absolute garbage, and then you wonder why you can't sit still. Like, let's be honest for a second. You wonder why you're not successful in trading. You wonder why you can't sit still and take a good trade, but yet you feed yourself absolute garbage. You can't focus for more than 30 seconds without scrolling and looking at another video, another video, another video. How do you expect to sit in front of the market for an hour, let alone 2 hours, let alone 4 hours, or whatever it is, and not take a trade when you don't need to take a trade? You need to be able to sit in front of the market for an entire week and not take a trade if there's nothing there. You might be saying, Justin, that sounds impossible to me. How could I possibly do that and not take a trade for a week? Cut out all the bad dopamine, because you're bringing it right into the trading environment. You're stuck as a trader because you're treating it like every other source of dopamine in your life. Just like you go on your phone and scroll social media, just like you get on the chart and start taking trades. You're feeding yourself garbage, and so you're producing garbage. Number 5, process over profit. Get excited about following rules, not making money. This sounds dumb because obviously we're all here to make money. We wouldn't be trading if we could not make money. Our goal is to make money, of course. The man who loves the destination will not walk farther than the man who loves the journey. You have to love the journey. You have to love the process. And the more that you start loving the process and seeing the market play out in your favor and seeing the market print price in the way in which you were expecting it to and reacting to it, that is when you start actually getting fulfillment for it as well. Because if you're just seeking cash and you're just seeking profits, again, you could break all of your rules in the book and then go right back into trading, and then you've just been building up all of these bad habits so that when the market's choppy or there's bad conditions, you have no clue what to do with yourself. You're sitting there taking trade after trade after trade until your account's gone, because you're literally in like paralysis mode. You can't even step away from your chart. You're just enter, exit until you're gone and blown up. Be disappointed also by lucky wins. You want to train yourself, right? You need to this is something that has to happen over time. This isn't just a one-time like switch. It's not like you're gonna watch this video and be like, oh, I'm gonna immediately change now. You have to want to change, and it has to take time. You have to start implementing these habits. You have to start reprogramming your identity. Who are you? Do you care more about making quick cash, or do you care more about actually doing what you should be doing, which is going to make you way more money? So if you want to make way more money, be disappointed by lucky wins. Celebrate perfect losses. If you came into the market and you did everything you should have done, journal the loss, take the loss, and be satisfied with it. And to add on to this, another thing I highly recommend is go seek wins in other areas of your life. Because when I was in high school, I would trade in the morning, and if I lost, my entire day was ruined. But what I found out is that my entire day was ruined because there was no other source in my entire life that could give me a win. Go to the gym and get a win. Go read a book and get a win. Go talk to your family and get a win. Go do a side project, a side hustle, and get a win. Number 6, finish line freeze. Right when we're about to see success, we just self-sabotage ourselves. And that's why many of you guys have probably passed a funded account, gotten to a funded account, gained profit, and then right before you're about to get a payout, the account's gone. How many people have done that? There's a mental blockage and there's a self-sabotage going on because it's almost like the fear of success. When we truly think about the version of ourselves who are successful, a lot of the time there's more responsibility. There's a more deeper level of, assertiveness and confidence and character that takes place in being a successful trader. And sometimes we're not ready to take that on. And so we don't see the success because many of you guys aren't ready to take on the new version of yourself. You're not ready to die to your old self. You're still holding on and clinging on to your bad habits. You smoke weed every day. You smoke cigarettes. You jerk off. You watch porn. You do all this bad shit. How the could you ever expect to make a bunch of money in a profession where it's you versus you? Nobody else is gonna do this. It's you. And until you decide to die to your old self and kill the bad habits and decide, you know what, I don't wanna live like this. I do wanna be successful. I care more about my success than I do all of this cheap bullshit that's keeping me behind. I'm gonna cut it out and I'm gonna focus on actually building success. You have to understand that you self-sabotage because number one, you're either not ready to actually be successful and you're not the version of yourself who can actually take on success, and you're overvaluing and you're trying to squeeze out as much satisfaction and dopamine for getting almost there. Because right now in your brain, you have piles and piles of past experiences, past mistakes, all of those blown accounts, all of those days that you overtraded. And right now in the future, you're looking back at all that pile and you're trying to make up for it. And so right when you're coming close to making up for it, you're like, oh my God, yes, I'm finally gonna do it. And then you shit the bed. And the reason why you shit the bed is is because you haven't dealt with all the past yet. You haven't forgiven yourself for all those past mistakes. You haven't said, you know what, this is day one. I'm not trying to make back all the losses that I made in the past, all those mistakes. I don't care. You have to say, I forgive myself. I f***ed up. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I didn't really have the education. I tried jumping in maybe early. It was my first couple months of trading. It was my first couple years, whatever it is. You have to forgive yourself, put it to bed and say, this is day one. Success doesn't just immediately make you the version of you who is successful. The only way to get to success is by being that version of you to start with. So you have to start treating yourself like a professional. Take this seriously. Are you trading like you're taking it seriously? Are you treating this like a business? Or are you treating it like you're hopping on Fortnite with the buds and you're just fucking around? Start taking it seriously. Forgive yourself for the past mistakes and stop self-sabotaging yourself. Last but not least, principle 7, submission to the process. Stop fighting. Stop striving for success. Like I said, you will be the most successful in trading when you feel like you are doing the least amount of work. The least amount of work. Because trading, you are not paid for your work. You are paid for your decision making, not your time. So it's going to feel effortless. If you feel like you're working hard and you're constantly striving because social media says, oh, you gotta work through the pain, you gotta grind hard. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe in grinding hard and working for what you want, but trading is not that type of work. Trading, the actual act of trading, is not caring. Stop caring. But many of you guys are trading like you're literally in a fucking war zone. Like, bro, can we not? Can we start like acting like we don't care? Because you care so much about the idea of success. You care so much about just the idea of your take profit getting hit. It's like, how do you expect yourself to not be fucking emotional? So submit. Stop caring about being successful today. Stop caring about making money today and start caring about how can I push the ball forward 1% per day just by pushing the ball forward. And it starts with a lot of the times other areas of your life. Start figuring out what are the bad habits that I need to cut out in my life. Stop trying to understand what the market is doing 24/7. You do not need to know what the market is doing 24/7. And I have students that fall in this problem where it's like, Justin, I don't know what the market wants to do and I feel like I don't know anything and I'm lost and I don't know my strategy. And I look at them and I say, and? Do you think I fucking know what the market wants to do? No. But do you think me not knowing what the market wants to do affects my confidence and my edge? No, because guess what? The only thing I care about is recognizing my edge. I don't give a if the market pumps 100 points, dumps 100 points, and then goes sideways and then goes fucking lower. I only care about me able to recognize what it wants to do through my strategy. I wait for the market to tell me what I want to see and what I should see. Not what I want, but what I should see based off of what is real. What is reality. And you need to align your perspective with what is within the market. Success should feel effortless. Find your tolerance window. Stop fighting the market and submit to the process of trading and the market. These 7 principles completely changed my trading and my life when I first started trading and still to this day. But the problem is most of you guys will watch this video, click off of it, and then go do the exact same thing that you've always been doing, falling into the same exact emotional patterns, and you'll stay stuck. The difference between understanding psychology and actually rewiring your trading mind, it requires a plan and an approach. And that's exactly why I'm hosting a live webinar where I'm going deeper into these psychological concepts and the transformation system to finally break you free from this trap that you're in. And this isn't just theory. It's the exact system that transformed my relationship with the market. And it's the same approach that we use with traders in our mentorship. The webinar is completely free. I'm gonna give you actionable steps that you can immediately implement. If you're watching this after July 25th, don't worry, we'll have a free replay available for you in the description. Just click the link below to register for the webinar or watch the recording if it's past. But I wanna be fully clear about something. This is not for everybody. If you're looking for quick fixes or a magic strategy, this webinar is not for you, I'm just gonna say. This is for real traders who want real success and they know it takes work. If that's you, click the link below, sign up for this webinar. We're gonna be dropping so much free knowledge. Your trading and your trading psychology will literally never be the same after this, I promise you. Remember, the market doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your ideas. It doesn't care about your technical analysis. The only thing that matters is, can you control yourself? Master your psychology and everything else becomes seamless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, tell me what you thought of this video, what you guys want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.